This is a look at the Winchester SXP 20 gauge Super X pump. This model has been around for a long time. Originally started, made in the United States in New Haven, as the Winchester Model 1200. That became the Model 1300 pump. And now it's made in Turkey by Istanbul Salah. This happens to be the most recent production. This is a 20 gauge model with a 24-inch barrel. So let's take a minute or two and go over it. So this is the Winchester SXP in 20 gauge, a 24-inch barrel. It has a slightly elevated rib, which I like. There are no visible shim adjustments that I can see. The recoil pad is the Browning Pachmayr Inflex pad, very good recoil pad. And as far as the camo finish, very nicely applied, looks good on the barrel, looks good on the plastic. So, what's wrong with it? More than a couple things. First of all, we've got this huge trigger guard. Now I know it's trendy to talk about oversized controls, but you can easily get 3 fingers into this trigger guard. I mean, it's just far larger and more garish than it needs to be. We don't need 2 fingers, 3 fingers to pull the trigger. The problem with the excessively large trigger guard is that it moves the safety, which is at the front of the trigger guard, a long ways away from the trigger. And it's also not a very good safety. You know, sometimes you push on it, it'll go right off. Other times, it'll just freeze in place. So it's just not easy to get off all the time. Like I said, sometimes it's fine. Other times, you push on it and it just locks. So it's not a very smooth crossbolt safety. For the most part, I like crossbolt safeties behind the trigger. Very easy to push them off, move your forefinger forward, take the shot. But they can be okay. The older Beretta 303s, Browning B80, has a little metal pin that's coming out of an alloy trigger guard. And that pin is very easy to hit, very easy to take off and put back on. But you also have a much smaller, more appropriately sized trigger guard. Now it is a pump gun, and most synthetic stock pump guns have some type of molded in checkering that gives you a nice grippy surface. And this doesn't. There just isn't much grip here. I understand that Browning, Winchester had problems with their DuraTouch finish that was the subject of a class action suit that decayed rather quickly. But there's just no molded in checkering. So it's okay right now, but with gloves on or cold weather, you're just not going to have much to grip onto. There's nothing there to grab your hands, certainly not in cold weather with gloves. So, I'll take a few shots with it. Make the SXP go bang a couple times. Comfortable to shoot. These are 7/8 ounce, 1200 foot per second loads, Remington Clay and Field. So not much recoil. And there's certainly a market for an inexpensive pump gun like this, if they could sell them at the $350 street price level. This thing just needs a little help. The trigger is certainly on the heavy side. Heavier than the entire gun. So it's an excessively heavy trigger. Not a 12-pounder, but still on the heavy side. The safety is a problem. The grip on the forearm is a problem. And the slide release is not exactly convenient. So, some people will like it more than I do. It certainly is functional. It will go bang, but it's hardly ideal. Pump guns just ought to be better than this, and if they improve the safety, if they move the safety back in the right position, had a better bolt release, and had more substantial grip on the forearm, they have an excellent shotgun. Certainly for the money. But that isn't the case right now. So it's just, it's not my favorite. What can I tell you?